Kimbali. What I say?
Babe.
Huh?
I got to say.
Huh?
Steady. Most with the rest
Rather go my studies.
Yes.
Stada.
Chivo. Asi chi.
Chera ze.
Nongona ngoshika panambo chingondinyauta.
Aika. Kunyonganya kimbali is a sign of luxury. I'm a luxurious man. Pandiri pana.
Aupengeo.
Hauzikundizia.
Chi.
Hauzikundizia.
Chi.
Ndikupisa maswiti.
Ukupisa ni.
Ndindeka ndine tenda rehuku ka.
Ukipi.
Huku dzakaya panapa last week.
Aupengeo. Huku last week ndodza wakungoti kanana.
Kimbali.
Ungotsenga huku.
Huku ye last year, huku ya nezuro, huku ye mangwana, dzese dzinongonzi huku.
Dziri kupi huku dzaka?
Dziripo panapa. Huku tori nadzo ndiri kupisa. Ndatoya kudzokuofa huku.
Aiwa, no, it's okay.
Dzimwe dzana dzitori mombegu.
Ndo zviri kunwa mbegu mako.
Usanyepe huku dzadzisi kunwa because ndatodzispray amonas.
Madzispray? Chi?
Macho.
Unorwarewo.
Aikazvo. Saka usitolava huku.
Aiwa, handiripo.
Kimbali wambona zvekudyiwa kuManfred ero?
Kune sadza.
Sadza nenyaya. Vanhu varikudya sadza nenyaya. Ndindega ndiri vanhu vangani vari kuona vachinyongonya chikoro chese chimwe.
Iwe asiri kunyongona ndianiko.
Saka usilava huku dzangu.
Ichienda kani.
Hausitoda? Kimbali usafe nenyota makumba ari mumvura.
Mvura ipi?
Makumba ari muchicken.
Chini?
Inini ka?
Aiwawo.
Vari kunditi ndaranguku pamastreets apo. Hausikulava?
Aiwa, handisikuda. Chienda kani. Chiko ndoda kuverema.
Last chance.
Last chance yeko.
Mina ndikusire nhamba dzangu kuti ukazorowa nenzara 07 idzi unongondipinze
kuti chi
kundurulava huku saka usitolava kana mbichana kana peace
chienda kani chiko
Kimbali.
Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, welcome to the week with me, Comrade Fatso. And what a week it's been. We had an Anti Sanctions March without the march, and Mangudya announced that a new currency was on the way. Then Mtuli said, no, it's not a new currency, it's just Tuma banknotes. But first, sanctions. The Anti Sanctions March happened last week and... Whew. Yeah. Despite declaring a national holiday, sending out hundreds of buses and even giving free food, the 60,000-seater National Sports Stadium only had about 5,000 hot and hungry comrades. So ED addressed a stadium that was about as full as the average Zimbabwean's fuel tank. We believe there must have been a third force behind this event, because the ZANU-PF that we know may not know how to run an economy, but they know how to bus people to rallies. This third force must be anti-sanctions. But you unpatriotic Zimbabweans who were bribed by the West not to attend, you missed many good things. You missed our president singing. This is not a man who wants to be president. Give him a choir. Also, what better way to fight sanctions than giving the people a free 2-pizza and chips from Chicken Inn with a little car imperialist Pepsi to go with it? Because we are anti-sanctions, but not anti the good life, ka? The people were celebrating that sanctions were being lifted.
My way, Gandhi.
Okay, maybe she wasn't celebrating sanctions, but she generally got the gist of it, I believe. Prophet, whose name I shall not mention, even made an appearance at the Anti Sanctions March. Okay, it was Prophet Mboro. He stood up for what he believed in. University of Zimbabwe students were the biggest winners. The thousands of boxes of chicken and chips that ZANU-PF had to drop at UZ late at night were a welcome improvement to their usual menu, which largely consists of water for breakfast, thoughts and prayers for lunch, and sadza neka surprise for dinner. Thank you, ZANU-PF, for remembering the children. We know it was not intentional, but it's the accidental thought that counts. Last week, there was intense propaganda from both the Zimbabwean government and the West about what sanctions mean. It was kind of like listening to a drunken couple argue in a bower and wondering who is right. There are always two sides to a story. In this case, maybe three. ZANU-PF's, the West's, and the people's. On the one hand, the US and EU mainly speak about how their sanctions only affect ZANU-PF-aligned individuals and companies, which is partly true. The USA's ZEDERA law calls for democratic and economic reforms, but it also speaks about land reform, saying that Zimbabwe must implement the decisions of the SADC tribunal, which said that land reform was technically illegal. I thought this was a democracy thing. Oh, my white farmers are in pipe. Because ultimately, the fact is, land reform is irreversible. Yes, we need to make it more just, more equitable, take a few chefs off too many farms, but we can't reverse it. ZEDERA also makes it more difficult for Zimbabwe to access debt relief. And the fact that sanctions are there make US companies more reluctant to work with small Zim companies and startups. Plus, we're blacklisted from some international transactions. I mean, just the other day, I was trying to use PayPal to buy just two Cuban cigars on Amazon and was denied because we are from a sanctioned country. Life is tough, comrades. So sanctions do affect ordinary Zimbabweans, and this needs to be dealt with if our country is to really move forward. However, on the flip side, the biggest sanctions we have in Zimbabwe right now are self-imposed. Command Agriculture, where 3 billion disappeared, the Marange diamond scandal, or spending thousands on 2 pizzas and chips instead of paying doctors' salaries. I know the global economic system is unjust, it favors the rich countries, and it breeds inequality. But how are we going to combat that as Zimbabwe if we can't even build an economy that works for all at home? Remember when the government denied any knowledge of a new currency that was supposedly going to be released in November? Well, it's either Eddie Cross is a prophet or Angore Munu Animakua, because either way, he was right. The RBZ governor, John Bond Notes Mangudya, dropped a bombshell this week that a new currency is on the way. Yes, new $2 and $5 notes in 2 weeks' time. And you know, whenever the government says in 2 weeks' time, they actually mean tomorrow morning. Actually, right now. It's happened. Check your bank accounts, comrades. The government also says that these new notes will coexist alongside the bond notes. So does that mean that these new notes will be 1:1 with the bond note? Because if that's the case, then what's the point? The biggest lesson from all this is that it's just a rumor until the government denies it. Our trolls of the week are the US and EU embassies who spent the whole of Anti Sanctions Day trolling ZANU-PF on Twitter. Oh, you say sanctions are destroying the country? How about that time your government stole 3 billion? Oh, your president is saying, Ngaji Viswe, Ngaji Ende. Remember when the same guy said the whole country should stop moaning about sanctions? And they had evidence after evidence, screenshot after screenshot, like an angry ex. Then, to top it off, to show they're proper douchebags, they add Spy Chief Owen Ncube onto the sanctions list on Anti Sanctions Day. Punishment plus good move.
I'm Major General Scuffles, Commander-in-Chief of the Ideal Command.
Major General Scuffles, eh? You gotta love that name.
My madness, my boldness is what this Chimurenga 3 needs now.
Comrade, you just admitted you are mad, so how are you going to get people to follow you?
Idiot Mnangagwa is a devil, a coup leader who is a military president, and I am the civilian president of Zimbabwe.
Hold on, how are you a civilian president when just now you said you were Major General?
The state has been captured. CIO, Army, ZRP, prisons, Zim papers, ZBC, ETC.
I've heard of ZBC, but who is this ETC you talk of? The election tweaking company?
All state entities are now under the administration of evil puppies like Anti-Chief Justice Malava.
Evil puppies? I think he meant puppets. Don't you love the file footage in the background? It's like it's taken straight from the A-team.
When they hold ice blocks, we hold ice blocks. When they hold guns, we also hold guns.
Ice blocks? Comrade, I know this October is hot, but focus on your speech. Twitter ice later, eh? Sorry, comrade. But us Zimbos, after tasting one coup, we really don't want another, no matter how good your video may be. Thanks for joining us on The Week. Follow Magamba TV on social media. I've been Comrade Fatso. This has been The Week. You have been the people. Thank you. Give me a 2% chips and foot sack.